I've decided to actually water cool the projector, so what I've done is just cut all the fins of the heatsink, apart from one, the very last one up the top where the over temperature is. I believe that trip's at 80 degrees Celsius. I'm just putting it back together just now, and it'll be a radiator, probably under the bed, with a small water reservoir, and it should cool it very, very quietly because it was just too noisy as is. Well, here's a better looking side power supply there. That's the LCD screen, keystone adjuster, front lens, that's our LED. So I should put this in now. That's the bit that makes the light nice and straight, something like that anyway. Yeah, so put connectors on there now, so that's where the water will go, and it'll just all be put back together and it'll be nice and silent. I'll just have maybe a radiator, or rather a tub of water under the bed with a water pump in it, and what I'll do is probably take the power supply out from inside and maybe just use an external 12 volt power supply to run everything. Maybe get a 72 watt supply, and that should probably do it. And the reason I'll be using a separate power supply is because now I will be running a water pump and a fan, so it will draw extra power. And now that there's no fan actually inside this unit, there's not really much keeping that supply cool. But then again, the fan never pointed anywhere near the supply anyway, so I don't think it would make much difference. But even still, with the extra load, it will get warmer. So it'll just be a very small 12 volt brushless pump that will go in there, and this will be my water reservoir. Well, here's the setup that I'm going to use just now. I've got a pump and this water reservoir running off a separate power supply, and it is now flowing through the heatsink on the projector and the water block and keeping everything nice and cool. So I should hopefully be able to go for quite some time before the water starts getting pretty hot. And because I think the projector only draws about 20 watts, I don't think it will get all that hot. I think the water will stay at a reasonable temperature, should hopefully be okay. But if not, I'm going to put a radiator on. Probably a bigger water reservoir would be better as well, because that will muffle the sound of the pump even more. So all of that is going to get mounted to the headboard, and this will be underneath the bed. Much quieter than the original fan, and here is said fan. But the next model I'm doing is the whole thing will be running off an external 12 volt power supply, so that's on the same power supply, so it's just as simple as plugging it in, and then I'll never forget to switch on the water cooling system, because that would be bad. It could destroy the LED, I don't know. Over temperature protection might prevent that, but 80 degrees Celsius is very hot. I would have thought they could have put a 40 degrees Celsius cut off in there. So now that is all set up in a manner that I'm happy with, and it's a fair bit quieter anyway. You can still hear the pump a little bit, but there's ways I could quieten that down. Like I could probably run it at a lower voltage, so that would help a bit. And I could also maybe put other things around it. Well, can't see anything there, but the container of water is just under there. And yeah, it's not too bad. For some odd reason though, I've had to jam a piece of cardboard in there because the lens is wobbly and it was like focused on one corner of the image and not on the other, so I've corrected that as best I can. That should be okay. Okay, so I've been playing about with it a bit more and I've got a DC converter here which is stepping the voltage down, and now the pump is quite a bit quieter, so that's fine. I've actually got an Xbox 360 power supply. I totally forgot that I had one, and this will be used to power the whole thing. I'll sort that out tomorrow. And that is nice and quiet. Don't see how people can watch films on these things with the amount of racket they make as standard.